This video is the unboxing of the Mythwind core game and the Expanded Horizons expansion. This is the Be a Hero Gaming channel, and this channel is about how to play games and have a good time, and also how to be a hero in real life. So, this game, I saw on Kickstarter, and I was going to back it, and then I didn't, and I was going to, and I didn't, and I couldn't decide about this game, and I didn't back it. And I walked into my local game store yesterday and saw it sitting on the shelf. They just got these in, and they were sitting on the shelf. And in talking with the couple people at the game store, I just am so intrigued by this game. I had to get it and try it out. So if you're not familiar with Mythwind, this is kind of an open-ended adventure world exploration game where the biggest thing about the game is you can't win and you can't lose. I know, that seems so weird. How can you play a game that you can't win or can't lose? So I've just been so intrigued by it, even though I didn't back it. I saw it sitting on the shelf, and I thought, I'm going to have to get this. I have to try it and just see what this game's all about. So I thought I'd do an unboxing for you here, and after we play a couple rounds of it, I'll tell you what I think. It's either going to be really cool or it's going to be terrible. I don't know, but I just really wanted to try it and do a review on it. It seems like this expansion here is just like a fifth player, so you can play 1 to 5 players instead of 4 is really all this is. But so speaking of which, I think a lot of times in life we feel like our lives are made up of our tally of wins and losses. And the thing that's intriguing about this game is you can just sit down with a couple of friends or family and just have a good time exploring a world and building a character. And I guess you're building a town in this valley and exploring the valley and building a town. It sounds kind of fun. I don't know, maybe just to sit down and have some popcorn and play a game. I don't know. But just remember, our lives are all about progression. And our wins, our losses, we kind of use that as milestones, but also ultimately our life is about progression and not about how many wins we have and how many losses we have. And so that's what kind of intrigues me about this game is we can just sit down and make some progression and develop a character, and we don't have to worry too much about winning or losing. And so I really like competition. I really like winning. I have several family members that really like to win. And so it makes games a lot of fun because we get competitive. But, if that gets a little too tense, it might be nice to sit down and play a game like this where we're just nice and relaxed and just developing this world. So anyway, this is the core game here, and we'll pop this open here and see what it's all about. Quick look at the back of the box here. Again, you have this kind of world map, and you have these player boards, which all the 4 characters are different, and they play different. Like I think here they show a farmer where you're trying to get these vegetables and stuff in your garden, and I'm not sure which one this one is. But each person is doing different things, and so you're not all doing the same thing, which is a little bit intriguing, just because you can pick the character that kind of seems like it fits your kind of personality type and your needs, and away you go. So let's see what's inside this box here, and see if this game looks like it's any fun. I couldn't resist my curiosity with this game because I just don't know if there may be some other games like this, but I just don't know of any other games like this where you play and see what happens. Okay, so the box is a little bit it doesn't close all the way, and I don't know if once you pull everything out that will be different, but we will see here. Okay, off we go there. Okay, so on top of here, and again, I don't know a whole lot about this game, just really what I saw from the Kickstarter. I didn't read any rules or anything. It looks like there's a journal for each character, and complexity low, so this might be one for the kids to play. There's a little flavor text here on the inside, and it looks like there's a book for each character to kind of tell what components are required for that character, the setup for the character, and the basic concept of what you're trying to achieve. Because remember, all these characters are different, and so they're going to work a little bit differently together. If you're into farming, you can get some beans and potatoes and strawberries. Oh, and it looks like they're untended and they get ripened and they get tended. Okay, kind of fun. And there's Mr. Farmer Man, a little artwork. Okay, so again, I'm not really sure. I know as you play, there's kind of some problems that come up that you have to solve. And I don't know if it's different depending on the character you're playing or not. So there's the farmer. Here we have the crafter. That must have been that red one on the back. The crafter, a little bit more complex here, 3 stars. And the crafter, I believe, is out looking for materials to make things. Is kind of the crafter's idea here. So let's see, these here say, okay, whether you're working, good marketing, always open. Maybe you're trying to make things to sell. I think maybe it's what the crafter's doing. Okay, so here's some materials you can gather to make various items, and then slots in your board here to put those into there. Okay, so you can play a crafter if you want to. If you want to go look for some materials and make some things. The merchant. Okay, this is the selling one here. This book's a little bit thicker. 47 pages. How long are these? The farmer is 35, and the crafter is 27. So the crafter is even shorter, even though more complex. The merchant, 47 pages and 4 stars of complexity. Okay, so the merchant's going to be a little bit more complex here. I don't think this one comes with the miniatures. I'm not sure. We'll have to take a look in there, but I know there's a miniature you can get that doesn't really have a lot of value for the game except for just showing where you're at. Again, no combat in this game. You're not trying to kill things or get killed. You're just trying to develop this character in this town. So the merchant looks like, okay, so the merchant's trying to get some stockpiles here, and then here's some coins over here trying to sell stuff, it looks like. Gather up a bunch of stuff, food, fur, wine, and tools, and sell those to the highest bidder, I guess. So it looks like the merchant's trying to get economically successful. And then finally, we have the ranger. The ranger's book is 39 pages, and he is, how many stars is he? 3. So there's nobody who's 5 stars. The merchant is 4 stars. There's nobody who's 5 stars. Okay. So the ranger, I think he's just kind of going out exploring the world. Here's his player board here. And again, all the player boards are different, have different slots on them and things that you can do. Okay, so looks like hunting or trapping or backpacking, orienteering. He's just kind of going out and exploring, it looks like, kind of looking around to see what he can find. So more of an exploration guy. He's not trying to earn money or grow crops or make things. He just wants to see what this world's all about. Okay, so maybe a fun character there you could play. Those are the character journals. The Mythwind Town Charter. Begin here. So this looks like this is where you start out. And I think this is just kind of going to be the overview of the world. Oh, and it's got some of the components in here. Just generally, the first game setup. Okay. So this is just going to go through just getting started in general, and then maybe the character-specific book is going to show you what you need to do to get your character set up. So, and this journal here is 51 pages, so pretty lengthy here. There's no index or anything in the back, it looks like. Oh, but there is a little chart on the back here where they list some various icons and their meaning. Okay, so it looks like it's kind of a thick book. Looks like there might be a lot to this game to kind of get figured out. Here is looks like a world map. Just on kind of brown parchment paper here that kind of shows the valley that you've entered here. And again, I'm trying to remember, this has been a long time. I kind of wrote this one off. I thought, I'm not going to back that. That's too weird of a game. I can't do it. But I believe you're coming into this valley and trying to build a town in this valley that has some magical features and things like that in this valley. There's the map. This looks like just a piece of artwork that's on some really glossy paper here. I'm not sure what this thing is here, but some kind of totem there in the middle of the land. These are some weird owl creatures and just a piece of artwork. Okay, and here we got the punch boards. It looks like you have to set the boards up. So here you have the farmer, some coins. This probably goes into his board to show what you're doing there. Here's some other tokens here for the farmer. The crafter, again, is going to have coins. These must be abilities or something that you can do here, ways you can develop or use your character here. Here we have the ranger who's going to go out and explore. kind of similar things there. The merchant. So I imagine once these are all punched out and put in the boards, the lid will close all the way. And that's kind of how these games are sometimes. They have all these punch boards on top. And then, oh, and here's the farmer's vegetables. Cool. So these are in various shapes here, almost like you're playing Tetris or something. And I'm not sure how these work out or why you'd want to grow some cows or strawberries or how that works. But here's a punch board of all these vegetables that you can include in your farm for the farmer. Not sure who this, oh, this is crafter boards and tokens. Okay, more stuff for the crafter here. And game tray divider. There's some more tokens here. These may, okay, a hammer. I'm not sure what all these are. Maybe raw materials or something, but more stuff to punch out there. That is a lot of stuff to punch out. More stuff for the ranger here to punch out. Oh, and it looks like the ranger has little tokens here as well, kind of like the farmer he puts on his board. Maybe areas he's explored. I'm not really sure what those are for yet. And 2 seasons tile, resource tokens, action spaces, goal tokens. So a lot of tokens with this game. I'm still pulling them out here. There's more and more and more. More about tokens. Go this way or that way. I know there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of decision making in this game, what you want to do as far as when you come to a situation, there's cards you draw that give you a situation, you get to make a decision about it. Okay, so this is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. When it showed this on the Kickstarter page, I thought it was going to be like half this size. This is pretty good sized. Again, it fills up the whole box here, this character tray. And so this looks like farmer. We're going to put some of his tiles and icons in here. The cool thing about this is it has these lids that looks like they kind of snap on there, where when you are done playing your game, it says 30 minutes plus on the back. So I think maybe 30 minutes is enough time for you to have something happen in the game. And then when you're done, you just put this lid on top of your tray and you just leave everything how it is. And this is one of the things that intrigued me about the game, that why I almost thought about backing it, was because I really like this idea of, boom, my game's saved and I'll just put that back in the box, and when I want to play again, I pull it back out. So I thought that was really cool to have these little trays in here to organize everything and stick it in there, again, for the various characters that you're going to play there. And once we get all the boards put in there, this will probably look a little bit better. This looks like more of a world board here. This is a little heavier, and I think this is kind of like what's going on in your world. And there's a bunch of things in here. Okay. Oh, it did show on the back this all set up as a board. Okay, so this is probably the way you save your game. I think all these boards come out of here. There's a set of cards there. I think all these boards come out of here and are laid out on the table, all lined up like this. And then when you're done playing, you stack these back up again with the cards still in these slots and everything in there. And you can put it back in here and save your game till next time. Pretty cool. I like that, how it all stays organized. You just put it right back in. The whole idea behind this, they call it a persistent world, meaning that, again, you go from one game to the next and the world just keeps continuing on with its development. But this looks like kind of a way for you to save kind of what's going on in the world. Then the lid goes back on there, and that's all saved. You put it back in the box. There is, and these are about to tip over. Put them over here. There is, I think, a way for you. Oh, it does come with miniatures. Oh, wow. And they got the sun drop too. Was not even expecting that. Very cool. Okay. So I think there's a way for you put a bunch of tokens in a bag, and there's times where you draw a token from a bag, and it, I think maybe for the farmer, maybe you plant something, you don't know what it is. I don't know. But I know there is a mechanic of the game where you put a bunch of tokens in these bags and you just reach in and grab one out. It gives a little bit of randomness to the game for you to pull a token out and see what happens next. Kind of cool. It looks like there's also some dice rolling involved. There's a lot of, these are wooden dice, it looks like, with maybe butterflies and people. I don't know. It looks like 0 to 3. 0 to 3, it looks like, is what most you get on here. But several dice, so there's going to be a token drawing aspect of the game, some dice rolling to the game. I don't know. I'm so intrigued by this game. I want to play it and see, is it cool or is it not cool? Weather cards. Okay, so there's some weather cards where There can be some inclement weather or maybe some good weather that could affect your game. And here's some little square cards that, oh, you can head off to the winery. And okay, some game mechanics there. It looks like at different facilities. Facility cards there, weather cards, event cards. Oh yeah, those are the best. So I think these 2 decks of those. So these are, so this is probably, I mean, there's probably 75 cards, so maybe 150 cards here, maybe total of events. And so I think this, as you're playing the game, you're going to draw one of these and it's going to say good vibes, and then something happens, and then you can either gain something, or I think there's some you have a choice to make. Oh, shuffle these events and maybe choose one of them. Cool, just, you know, I love that. So you've got dice, you've got tokens to draw, you've got these random events that happen to you along the way. I know in the Kickstarter, they showed one where you travel out in the woods and there's some fallen trees that are blocking your way. What do you want to do? Do you want to, you know, cut the logs and harvest the wood, or do you want to just try to go around them? You have a bunch of different choices you can do, and then something will happen. Again, I don't think there's like a narrative book. I think you're just between these events and the decisions you make for your character, you're kind of building this story, is the idea behind this. So these 2 decks of event cards, these requests, there's a map on the back and a compass there. So again, not sure what these are all about. We'll get into the rules here and give you a little bit more detail on this. And over here, card-wise, we have, I'm not even sure what this is. Okay, so this might be A, B, or C. What are you going to choose here? Something happens, and what would you like to do? And so here you have these choices to make. And again, I don't think there's probably bad outcomes, but not bad enough to make you lose the game. And so it's probably, you know, this decision led to this bad outcome or this good outcome, and that just kind of helps build your story as you're playing. And then here it looks like we have, oh, I love secret envelopes. Oh, okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I love secret envelopes in games. It just kills me to wonder what is inside of these. And I think it just adds a level of excitement to the game when you're playing, and then all of a sudden they'll say, open up envelope number 1. And you'll pop it open, and what's inside of here? What's it gonna do? And might add a new game mechanic. It might be a surprise, something you weren't expecting, but there's only 4 of them, but I love these secret envelopes in games. I think that is so cool. Okay, the miniatures here. These, it looks like we have the ranger here with his rifle, and I believe this is like the Sundrop finish on here. I didn't even know that it even came with these. I thought during the Kickstarter campaign this was an extra to have these miniatures added on, but maybe it's not. Maybe it comes with all of them. I don't know. So again, this is something you could paint up, and I know they show these on the Kickstarter painted. They look pretty cool, but with the Sundrop here, maybe you wouldn't need to. Maybe they'd already be ready to go. I can't remember how this guy came out of there. Okay, put him back later. Ooh, here we have the merchant. She is laden with a whole bunch of gear here, all kinds of stuff. The merchant character here got a whole backpack full of stuff ready to sell. Cool. Okay. And again, I don't think, again, you don't move these guys around the board or anything. I think you can place them at different locations, but there's not a whole ton that goes behind this. The characters here, it's supposed to be the crafter. She's checking her book of recipes here to figure out what do I want to make next. And I've got a bunch of scrolls over here for some ideas, and a small backpack, and maybe a raven or a bird or something on her back there. Pretty cool. And here we have the farmer. The farmer looks kind of grumpy, but maybe he's soft on the inside. This is just his face. But what does he got here? A pair of work gloves or something in his hand there, and a shovel. And that's a snail right there on his shovel. Cool. These are highly detailed. Look very good. He's got his garden shovel in the back and his little basket full of stuff he's harvested already. Okay, very cool. Let me pull out this. Maybe he went like that. I can't remember how this guy went back in there. Maybe like that. We'll set this aside and we'll pull open this expansion, which again I think is just I think it's just an additional character is all this is. There could be some more game mechanics, I don't know, but here, this was sold as a bundle. You couldn't get it just the base game. This came with it, at least at my game store. You had to buy this as well. Again, on the back here, it kind of has the same 1 to 4 players, but with this, it's 5 players. And this is really what it says here. And this the same on the back of the other box there. You'll work together to establish a new town in the magical Mythwind Valley. Achieve goals by constructing buildings, adventure through the region, navigate the unfolding story, and develop your character-specific profession. So whatever your profession is, and this looks like the innkeeper? Okay, so I guess people got to have a place to lodge for the night once they're done with their adventuring. So that looks like what this is. So we will get this one popped open here. And again, I think this is just a 5th character. Playing five character games are tricky because that's a lot of people to get not only around the table and find space for everybody, but I know for me, where I have a wide range of kids here that play games with me, the younger kids don't like to wait for their turn. So when you're playing a 5-player game, it gets a little bit tricky just because their turns don't come up as often and they lose focus and they're ready to be done after a little bit because their turn hasn't come up. Okay, so same idea here. We have the Innkeeper Journal, and the Innkeeper Journal is 31 pages, so not super long. And she's only 2 stars, so she shouldn't be too bad to play here as well. And oh, so it looks like she's trying to get some furniture and entertain her. She's getting there someone to entertain the guests, the waiting list. Okay, so there's a bunch of different things that she can do. And again, the same idea, she had this player board. Okay, so here it shows you tokens that go into a bag that you can draw out. Maybe as you are developing the characters, a little bit of randomness to it. Some accommodations here that you can create. And maybe as the better your inn becomes, that's what you're trying to do. So if you're kind of a hospitality-based person, you want this awesome inn for your characters, this might be the character for you. Low complexity. The book's not very long, 31 pages, so she might be a little bit easier to wrap your head around than some of the other characters. Little blurb on the expanded horizons here. Not very much. This is just a fold-out piece of paper here to talk about that. There's a bank, okay. And we have the innkeeper tokens that go into her board. And again, some gold. Some of the items here that are going to slip onto the board. This is probably other things here. Beds, maybe repairs, catering services, events, and maybe town gossip. I don't know. Kind of cool, fun. Okay, and here is some more. This looks like the ones that go into the bag here. And these are some of kind of the magical creatures that live around the world. You know, this might have been the extra. They had extras for these little creatures. That's what it was. It came with the main characters, but this little mushroom guy and this little tree man, some of these characters, I think those were extras you could get if you wanted to for the game. Not sure who these fine gentlemen are down here, but there's some guys down there. Here's some more tokens that she comes with here. And here's her character tray. Again, once you punch all that stuff out, the lid will close a lot easier because they'll all be inside of here. Here's her bag. And oh, this one is not Sundrop. Okay, so this one unfortunately is just the innkeeper, not Sundrop. I wonder if there's a way to, there's got to be a tutorial online how to make this Sundrop like the other ones. But she looks like she's got a little barrel of drink there ready to serve to her guests. Oh, and one in her hand there to serve to the guests here standing on the wooden floor. Very cool. And a couple more dice. It looks like with her, you're going to need even more dice. So there's a couple more dice here to kind of roll to see what happens to you here. And these are hard to get out of here. Okay, so there's some more facilities here. You have the bank and other various textile factory. More facilities that you can build to expand your innkeeping empire. A couple of smaller cards here. Town hub. And these are probably going to be event cards. There's a lot of slots for cards here, but not any cards in them. Okay. And then a whole new deck of event cards. So there's maybe 50 or 60 event cards here that maybe you only include if you're using her. I don't know. But that usually is the case. If you're including her, you would include these event cards. Or maybe you can just mix them in and make them even more events. That would be very cool. So not a lot to this. Again, looks like just another character, some more event cards, some additional dice. I'm super excited to play this and just see what it's all about. Again, it's going to be super cool or it's going to be terrible. I don't know. Or maybe somewhere in between. Who knows? I'll be sure to post a video as soon as we get into it on how it goes. But again, remember, the cool thing about life is win or lose, that's just something to help you learn to progress. That's all the purpose of that is. If you win, you feel good about yourself, move on to the next thing. If you lose, why did I lose? What can I do to win next time? How can I make a change in my life so that this weakness is no longer going to be a part of me anymore? But just remember, your life's about progression, and so hopefully that's our goal day to day, is that we're a little bit better today than we were yesterday. And that's what this game's all about. You're not winning or losing. You're just trying to progress and improve your city and your profession. So hope we all do that. You guys take care, be heroes out there, and have a good time playing your games.